What is going on, everyone? There's some products that we found in some of the repacks that I've done, or mystery boxes, however you want to put it. And so we have seen some of these Olympic cards. So I decided, why not get a box so everybody can see what exactly are in all of these things. So we're going to get right into it. Maybe. Apparently we're going to rip the top right off. Don't know if that's meant for it or not, but. So, interesting set. There's not really too many inserts. There is some variations in these as well. So, I mean, I'm going to bust through these packs. I shouldn't say fast, but Kane, Sugar Ray Leonard. But I'm not going to sleeve any of them up. I mean, that's really already one of the, I would say one of the top cards in there anyways. Ralph Boston, Debbie Meyer, Edwin Moses. So some of these are going to have variations. The way the cards look. And so we'll see if we run into any of those. If any of those that I can remember. 64 Olympic basketball team. Willie Davenport. Walker. We're going to see a lot of the basketball teams. I'm going to put those aside. We're going to see if we can get them all. We got 64, 80, U.S. Olympic hockey team. I think that one kind of deserves throwing up there too. Dick Button. So I'll throw some of those there. Mark Spitz. So not our typical rip today, but it's the middle of the week. We gotta do some stuff different. Hawkins, yes, Matthias, Gable, Kane again, another Sugar Ray. That one's in even better shape than the other one. I don't think I'll throw them all up there. Ralph Boston. So it almost looks like the exact Moses. Oh, Edwin Moses probably worth putting around there too, but Leroy Walker. And then Button. So I won't separate too much out. There's a lot of packs in here. So if we hit any other ones that are a little more unique. Lee Calhoun, Patrick McCormick. Patricia, not Patrick. What am I doing? You guys probably already were in the chat. Jim Thorpe, Bruce Jenner. It's probably one of the more famous ones from this set anyways. U.S. Olympic achievements. And that hockey one again. So I'm probably I might be able to get the whole set out of this deal. Glenn Davis for Johnson, Richards. 1980 Olympic. So I'm sure those of you that are watching this probably were watching some of this. Greg Louganis. Obviously, we've heard of Greg as well. Henry, IBA, Lee Evans. So yes, we're going to throw Louganis up here. Not all of us watch these sports, but the Olympics, it's kind of interesting. I think now it's almost harder. I mean, the time difference matters, and then it's hard to find where to watch. There's always a bunch of different channels going on at the same time. Mary Lou Retton. So this one has, I think, a color and a black-white photo. So we're going to see if we run into any of these. Neighbor. I want to see if we run into some of these variations. Button. So I have 4 that I know of the variations. And like always, I didn't really look up any value on any of them. I mean, I'm sure like a PSA 10 Sugar Ray would be kind of a cool one. Charles Daniels. Brooks. Jim K. John Davis. Brian Hensley. Big team again. Shorter and John Kelly. Well, it's kind of crazy. That was a totally different pack of people within the other packs. Harrison Dillard. For Olympic team again. The short shorts are coming back. I'm sure you guys have noticed that too. It seems like they went short to longer, and then now with basketball, it's kind of going the other way again. To each their own, I guess. Peggy Fleming. More of the 80 hockey team. Mel Shepard. Arledge. Special contributor. Eddie Egan and Jesse Owens. We'll throw Jesse up there too. We'll throw Jesse up there. Pack do not want to rip very easily, that's for sure. Scott Hamilton. Pretty famous figure skater. I'm sure a lot of have heard of him as well. Hawkins. Matthias. Dan Gable. Robert Kane again. Sugar Ray again. Ralph Boston. Maybe Meyer. And Moses. Most of us have heard as well. You know, back in the day, I know my daughter hates when I say that, but you know, we pretty much had ESPN. So when you were watching to find your sports stuff, if the Olympics were gonna, you were gonna hear about it, because if you watch SportsCenter, ESPN, you were gonna get those updates. That was kind of the only way we got updates, I know, just because my family didn't follow sports at all, so I had to get up and watch the replay of the 74 episodes in a row. That they had. Back to back, all the same. Jim Thorpe. Bruce Jenner again. Glenn Davis. Johnson, Richards. Mills, Greg Louganis again, Vidmar, Coach Henry, Lee Evans. So basically in some of these variations, they'll have like whether the back is color or not. So that's kind of why I saved the ones that we have out. So we'll hope we could run into those. McCormick. So on this one, it lists the shoulders are visible or not visible in the back. I mean, it's kind of a weird variation, but Jim Thorpe, Bruce Jenner again. Kono, weightlifting. And we haven't seen that one yet. And I'll probably have to go through after this just to see if I got a complete set out of the deal. Is what I'll probably end up having to do. Rayford Johnson, Bob Richards, Bill Tomey, Mills, Greg Louganis, Vidmar. So we're going to see some Lee Evans. Definitely some repeats. Haven't seen that one yet. Harrison Dillard. I want to do a sealed box because then we can really see what you're getting out of these. Mary Lou Retton. I think for some, if you find a box cheap enough, you have people that might like the hockey, the basketball. I don't know what it would be, obviously, to go pick them all up individually. Dick Button. Scott Hamilton. Tracy Evans. Charles Daniels. Charles Daniels. It's reverse of the front. Oh yeah. So here's the front. And this head is the reverse. So there it is. Jim McKay, John Davis, Frank Shorter, John Kelly. Oh no, Olympic team. Now it doesn't say if they're like an SP type variation. Bill Toomey, Fleming, John Weissmuller. So variation, lane marker, front photo starts under fame. Or it starts under Hall of. Like, come on. It's interesting. Those would just be called printing. Jesse Owens. Glenn Davis. Dan Gable, Robert Kane, Sugar Ray. I'll take all the Sugar Ray Leonards we can find. Ralph Boston, Debbie Meyer, Edwin Moses, Davenport, Leroy Walker. Olympic team. I don't know if I know anybody from the 64 Olympic team. Should we pop this one over for you guys? There we go. Jim Barnes, Bill Bradley, Larry Brown, Caldwell, Hazard, Lucius Jackson, McCaffrey, Jeff Mullins, Ship. Of course, then listing the colleges they were in before they switched around how they did the Olympics. Lee Calhoun, McCormick. Did I keep saying Patrick again, or did I say Patricia? I think I said Patrick again. Bruce Jenner, seen a few of that one. Olympic team. Definitely seeing a bunch of repeats. I appreciate if you guys are hanging on and just hanging out and watching. Rayford Johnson. Bob Richards. Billy Mills. Another Greg Louganis. Henry. Lee Evans. Seen a few of those. Rona Harrison Diller. So it seems like some of the packs have almost the same order. Once you get through a few of the cards. Button. Or the Olympic. Spitz. Wyckoff. Sammy Lee. Retton. Phil Neighbor. Since we've seen a bunch of these. Paddock. So the Mary Lou Retton one, I think the variation is... One has the black and white photo on the back instead of the color. Sounds like just another day at Panini, but... Hayden, Charles, Daniels, Morrow, Herb Brooks, McKay, John Davis, Beeman, Brian, Hensley. I haven't seen that one yet, just because I know I would have struggled with that name either way. Verona, Dillard, Olympics, Rudolph, Toomey, Peggy Fleming, Weissmuller, and Egan. It's a little different rip than something where you don't have any essentially big hits anyways. Scott Hamilton, Olympic team. Dan Gable, Kane, Sugar Ray. I just want to see a lot of Sugar Rays in there. Ralph Boston, Debbie Meyer, Edwin Moses. I just want to say the right name for Patricia. Jesse Owens, Duke, Glenn Davis, Rayford Johnson, Bob Richards, Toomey, Babashoff, Billy Mills, Greg Louganis again. Oops, I keep forgetting that pack I had sitting up there. Olympic team, Dick Button, Mark Spitz, Wyckoff, Sammy Lee, Mary Lou Retton again, and then field, John Neighbor. This is like the Olympic of opening a box of cards. This is a lot of packs in a box. Kono, Hayden, jeez, Niels, Morrow, Brooks, Jim McKay, John Davis, Beeman, O'Brien. Those used to modern rips are definitely probably didn't even make it this far into the video. Torona, Dillard, Olympics, Rudolph, Peggy Fleming, John Mueller again. Again, I don't see any variation on that one, so I don't see it. John Kelly, Kono, Olympic, Lee Calhoun, Patricia McCormick, Miller, Jim Thorpe, Bruce Jenner again. Wonder. Yes, we do have one more stack of packs, and then we're done with this one. But again, I'm actually happy. I mean, even the Bruce Jenner, I'm sure those are a little collectible too. Yeah, you got Louganis, Owens, Jenner, Sugar Ray. So I'm sure I'll enjoy, sleeving and packing some of those away. Dick Button, Scott Hamilton. I mean, I could check for a grading potential, but a lot of these always seem like they have just a little, like there's always the corner on these boxes because of how tightly they're packed. It's like every corner always seems to have that little mark on there. Daniels. Okay. John Davis. Beeman, O'Brien, Shorter, Kelly, you never know. Maybe there's some of you guys that are fans of some of these, like I said, like Sugar Ray or something, and kind of a cool little card. Mueller again, Shepard, Connor, Orange, Egan, and Jesse Owens, Glenn Davis. I think we've seen most of the cards, minus a few variations in there. Against Tyus, Matthias, Gable, Kane, Sugar Ray. Keep them coming. Keep the Sugar Rays coming. Meyer, Edwin Moses. Button and the U.S. Olympic. Yeah, that U.S. Olympic team is no joke either. I'm sure a few of you watched that. I did not. I was a little young at that time. Jim Thorpe, Bruce Jenner, Scholander, Kono. At least we got to zip through the box here, though. We got through quite a few packs, not too bad. Johnson, Richards, Tomey, Greg Louganis again, Vidmar, Lee Evans. 3 packs to go. Kind of an interesting one. I'm not going to do much of a review at the end of this one since we've seen the same cards enough times. But I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Winfield, John Neighbor. Scott Hamilton. Scott Hamilton obviously was said a lot of these names you just remember from seeing as we watched probably other sports then. Hayden, Chase, Brooks, McKay, John Davis, Brian, Frank Shorter. Last pack. And we'll call her a day. Wilma, Toomey, Peggy Fleming, John Weissmuller, Mel Shepard, Bart Connor, Egan, Jesse Owens, and the Duke to end it off. Well, there it is. Kind of fun one. Really, the biggest highlight, I'd say, is Sugar Ray. For me, anyways. Everybody else might be a little different. I think the 80 U.S. Olympic team is pretty cool, too. So, there you have it. Show's over. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow.